So lots of talk about the coronavirus being man-made. Why is that? I went in, took a look, came up with a few reasons. I'll go into those and then turn it over to George for some commentary. So first reason I came up with in 2015, a paper was written by scientists and military members in China. They described SARS as a new era of genetic weapons, one that could be used to collapse an enemy's medical system. That report is supposedly in the hands of the US State Department. The report is titled The Unnatural Origin of SARS and New Species of Man Made Viruses as Genetic Bioweapons. Number two, China is known to have been carrying out high risk gain of function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which is near the outbreak's ground zero at the Wuhan seafood market. Number three, Chinese propaganda and disinformation about the coronavirus outbreak is in full swing. For example, more than 10,000 suspected fake Twitter accounts are involved. Their aim is to influence individuals to heavily bombard them with propaganda. All right, I'm going to back that up. I can cut that. For example, more than 10,000 suspected fake Twitter accounts are involved. Their aim is to influence individuals. These individuals, US citizens, are so heavily bombarded with propaganda that their independent thinking gets impaired and they fail to logically think. Number four, on June 10th of 2020, Dr. Francis Boyle of the United States, who drafted the Biological Weapons Act in 1989, had given a detailed statement admitting that the 2019 Wuhan coronavirus was a Chinese offensive biological warfare weapon. Number five, Dr. Li Mingyang from Hong Kong, who was a virologist and was the team lead tasked by the WHO to investigate the outbreak in China in December of 2019, ended up fleeing Hong Kong after discovering the virus was man made and attempting to share that information. She appeared on Tucker Carlson to disclose the information. Immediately, the same message was delivered by mainstream media using what appears to be a script to debunk her. They claim that her information is not supported by most scientists in the field. Finally, after the US announced it would look into the origins of the virus further, the chief editor of Global Times, a CCP mouthpiece, posted that the CCP needs to build its long range Dongfeng 41 nuclear missile arsenal. This is his quote. We must be prepared for a high intensity showdown between the US and China. Now, I'm going to post various links and links to articles, links to videos. I would recommend that you follow those links, do your own research. This is some serious stuff, George.
Yeah, China is, we've said it in previous shows, they are the Nazi Germany of our day. And for the first time in a long time, invoking Nazis is not inaccurate. This is they're doing things on in domestic level that are mimicking what was done in Nazi Germany. And you say, oh, well, they don't have concentration camps. Actually, they do. Actually, they do. And it may not be Jews that they're filling them with, but they're filling them with Christians and Uyghurs and anyone else who is not in line with the messaging. And while I guess Stalin might be more comparative to them, but it's not like Stalin's less creepy than Hitler. I mean, you can pick which one of your historical tyrants you want to consider them to be, but in the end, they're evil. They're pure evil. Epic Times while the pandemic was, I was about a month and a half into the pandemic. I've not been able to find this again. I watched, it was a 2 hour documentary, hour and a half documentary that they did. If people don't know who the Epic Times are, there is no organization that will give you better information on Chinese news, on news about, I don't mean Chinese news like any Chinese people, I mean the CCP. There's no one that will give you better news than the Epic Times. They have, and they were started in China. They fled China because of the, for obvious reasons, you cannot have free media in China. They moved to New York City. They've been operating there, continually reporting on China. They have an office in China. That office is consistently getting bombed and ransacked and destroyed, with their equipment broken. All of this happens on a regular basis because China is fully aware of what this press organization means to their propaganda machine. And they came out with an incredibly detailed story about how this was all lab made, how there were actually published journals that were out in regular publication, regular international publication journals, about the fact that they were designing this, they were taking the regular coronavirus from bats and actually utilizing it, trying to weaponize it and make it so that it could work in humans, that it could live and thrive in humans. And there's research that's posted about this, and they have it all. And I guarantee you, if I go, I subscribed to them just so I could go back and get it, but I don't see, all I saw was a YouTube link that no longer, YouTube was all over that. I guess it was out for maybe a year, maybe a few months, a month or two. And then once it started getting popular, poof, it was gone. But if anybody sees that, if anybody sees it around, or if it's back up on YouTube or whatever the situation may be, someone else put it on YouTube, something, please let me know, because it's something that I want to rip and keep. 2 months after that is when the first real theory that it could be in a lab created virus came out. And that's 2 months of just constant bashing on the Epic Times as being conspiracy theorists, and because everything that doesn't go with narrative is conspiracy theorists. Everything. No one stops to just take something on its merits and try and prove it wrong, or try and prove it right. They don't go through the trouble. They all say, oh, mainstream, everybody agrees mainstream media is full of shit, but nobody goes and validates any other media. So then they just go through life not believing anything. So even when someone does go out to do the work, it does put together something breaking that is a true historical story, I mean, it's like it just falls on deaf ears,
Yeah,
because people never
now
heard of it.
that
Go, ah,
this is coming out and the US is announcing it, Facebook has said they're not gonna be blocking anything related to any accusations about it being a man-made virus, and
but
you
this
could
tells you what's wrong with Facebook in the first place.
absolutely, it's being
Because this is
controlled.
something that could
Yeah,
have come to light a long time ago, but they were stopping people from getting the word out, because
yeah.
people are going around saying it's conspiracy, it's conspiracy. Everything's a damn conspiracy. And hence nobody can speak, nobody can say anything. You're not allowed to get a message out. I mean, for Christ's sakes, what if you have some like world-saving information that that could save the whole world, but Facebook's ghetto fact checkers, who like these self-made one guys that work out of their closets, decided, nope, that's conspiracy theory. Nope, that's just not true. No, I'm telling you, this terrorist organization has the codes to these nuclear missiles. They're going to launch them. Stop. That's nonsense. They don't go and verify it. They go around Google a little. They're like, nope, I don't see anything. Nope, must be false. And then poof, it's false. And then these psychos go, like, this is the problem with social media. This is why that bill in Florida is such a big deal, because it's just crazy. You can't just silence people. I mean, you can, but it's ridiculous to do it with reckless abandon, which is what they're doing. Just reckless abandon. So now, they did this with the election, right? They did it with, now if Maricopa turns around and finds some legitimate stuff, what? Do they have to turn around now and admit that they should have left all of those freaking millions of posts? They should have left them alone? That
Right.
maybe somebody had something productive and good to say, and something that could have contributed to the discussion that we'll never know, because because of all the collusion and everybody's shutting down everybody who wants to speak of it. And YouTube telling all the shows you can't talk about it, and nobody can talk about it. Oh, what? You got something? I mean, you wanted to post your Fauci call. You wanted to boost that post. It was a comical, satirical call, but because it was against Fauci, no, no, no. We don't
Yeah,
even
no,
want
I
your
know.
money. We're going to give him the 10 or 20 bucks for that. No, no, no. You can't insult Dr. Fauci.
That's all right. We'll break through, Georgie. And I have to say this. I absolutely love your passion on this, but my favorite part about your mini rant right now is the whole ghetto fact checkers. You know, so,
Yeah, these freaking fact checkers, man. I can't take it
ghetto
with them,
fact
man.
checkers.